This podcast is brought to you by Joe Ghost Promo. Any promo you think you can't do yourself, we can do it for you. Hey, what up, what up? Therapy without a degree, Joe Fiucarino, Walter Bauer in the building.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
And missing. We're going to set another reward. This time, it's going to be for $100,000. Yes, you heard it here first. $100,000. Anyone who finds Hitomi Hideki Tagata.
You're going on the milk carton, bro.
Going on the milk carton? It's going to be official?
It's official.
Nah, it's all good. It's all good. But, what up, Walt? What's going on?
Same old shit, man. How about you?
Work. That's it. That's all I ever fucking do.
Hey, man. Gotta survive, right?
I need another vacation, bro. Even though I was just in Florida in December, that shit didn't count.
I talk about a vacation, bro. I haven't been on a vacation since 2010.
Oh, well, now you're bugging. But have you ever been to, like, cause I don't think have you been to, like, an island? Or,
I went to the Bahamas.
When was this?
2010.
Oh, I don't remember that.
When I went on the cruise.
Oh, okay. But you guys went on a cruise, but then were you, like, able to chill on the beach and shit? Or?
Yeah, we stopped in the Bahamas for... they got their own little private island. The cruise line owns their own little private island in the Bahamas. We stopped there for like 8 hours. And then we stopped in Nassau. I forget how long we were in Nassau for. We stopped in Nassau for a little while too. But being on the boat was more interesting to me than like being on an island. Because I love the ocean and shit. So being in the middle of the ocean was like a fascinating adventure for me.
Yeah, I definitely want to do that. I've never been on a cruise, never been on a boat. Like, that's something I definitely want to do. But I think it's just, like, such a tease, though, because it's just, like, you're on the boat, so it's just, like, you guys look at it, you just wave, like, "Hi, beach. Sorry, can't be on you."
Yeah, there's mad shit to do on that boat, bro. Like,
oh, yeah, the cruise is, like, you forget it's a boat.
You'd be shocked, bro. You'd be shocked how quick. We went on a 1-week cruise, and that shit went by, like, we were on the boat, and then bang, we were off.
Yo.
That shit went by quick.
I'm ready. Anyone wants to send me cruise tickets or whatever?
Well, I want to set something up for, I want to try and set one up for this summer.
A cruise?
I know it's going to be tough between both jobs, but...
Fuck it. You can pull it off.
I got to get away. I got to get away for like a week.
Get that shit done. If you
like away. Like not like...
Jersey. Yeah,
not like down the shore, not going and visiting somebody. I need to get the fuck away for me.
No, you need to do those every once. That's why I do them every once in a while to keep myself sane.
Yeah, man.
Like last year, I went a shitload of places. They were like, the one good one was the DR trip I went to. But I went to DR right before that. I went for like 2 nights. I went to Florida. I did California fucking for 2 days. Like little quick little trips because that shit really makes such a difference in your life.
That's what I would like to do. I'd like to go back out to California for like a week and like actually... Like, because when I was out there, I was in the Army, so it was a little different.
You didn't get to really...
I got to see everything. I got to see the whole state, basically. But I like to go out there for, like, a whole week just as, like, a tourist. Just to enjoy the Cali weather and just relax.
You might have to talk after the podcast. We might have to set something up.
Yeah, man.
But, alrighty. So, I just... before we start, I want to give a shout-out to Chris. I don't know, did you see what he... what he's doing? What he's starting?
No.
Alright, what Chris is doing, he actually launched a new company. It's called the CP Group. And obviously it stands for the Chris Patiri Group, which is dope. But Chris, if you're listening to this, when I first saw it, I thought it was Certified Promo. I don't know, bro. That should be like a backup name. That should be like a part 2. Like the Chris Patiri Group / Certified Promo. I don't know. That sounds fire to me. If you use it, you don't have to really give me anything. Because I use your crispy board all the time, so I guess we go in like favor for a favor.
There you go.
But what it is, it's a full service entertainment marketing agency, advertising company that specializes in the branding of nightclubs, restaurants, whatever. Because he's been in that. He works with fucking La Mega. He works with 93.1, all these Latin radio stations.
Yeah.
So it only makes sense. I mean, I've been knowing he was going to do that. Like, and fucking Chris is great at that marketing shit, great at promo. So for any of that nightlife stuff, if anyone's listening that's a DJ or you work in a nightclub or anything like that that might need a little bit of help, with their marketing, with getting their nightlife set up, events. Like he works with DJ Pecan, like Genesis Capelon, all these like, major people in the industry in the Latin radio. So definitely look into him. The company again is called the CP Group. He's on Instagram, all over the place. All right, so check him out because it's pretty much the only one you're going to want to go to, especially in the tri-state area.
Oh, I'll give a big shout out too first.
Yeah, what's up?
If you guys are listening, like you said you would, shout out to all my people at work that showed love. They saw the sweatshirt. They got interested. They said they wanted to listen. Nothing but respect. Chris, Josh, Joe, JL, all you guys.
Hey,
appreciate the
Nico.
love. All right, Nico since the beginning. If I missed you, my bad. But still showing love.
Shout out to Michelle.
Shout out to...
Michelle's had love for me since day one.
No, if you guys are all listening, it's much appreciated. Stay listening. You guys want to hop on, you're more than welcome.
Yeah, we're always looking for guests. You know, if you always want to come on, you feel like you got something you want to talk about or you want to help other people with us. Because what the point of this podcast is that everybody could take something from somebody. That's like everybody. Even a person on the street, fucking homeless person, man. Like, back to what we were saying, like, even them, they probably have something valuable in their brain that they could talk to you about that you may not never have known.
You can learn something new from everybody every single day.
Exactly.
And another big shout out, Jenna Raboli. Big shout.
Hey.
Big shout. She's been my homegirl for years. Going back to fucking Wilson School. She hit me up on Messenger, said she liked the podcast, said she was going to listen to all the episodes.
All right, nice. Yeah, we on chapter 14, so she got a little catching up to do, but that's what's up.
That's my girl right there, though.
Yep. Shout out to Jenna. But all right, so the first one, a little interesting. They kind of sent to us as a topic, but they were a little curious to like, how does it affect you, and when does it really happen? Child development.
Okay.
Like, she wanted to know, like, when do we think the times really matter, and when do you think, like, and if we think that something the child does or the way they act is going to be who they are in the future. And I thought that was extremely interesting.
So the question is, when do you start thinking that a child's behavior is what they're permanently going to be?
Correct. And if that's even the case.
I don't think it can be. I think kids are kids. And it's just what especially younger. I mean, if you're thinking anything from the age of 12 down, just throw it out the window, you know? Maybe when they start becoming teenagers, maybe that's when some of that stuff will stick. But I'm also a firm believer that people can change always.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But I think, especially if you're, are we talking a specific age here, or?
They just wanted to know. I mean, I know how old their kids are. They have different age groups. So it's, I don't, they're like 11, 7, and 5, I think. I'm guesstimating. But
yeah, I would think once you start getting into teenage is when a lot of that behavior will start to stick. I mean, maybe even like 11 or 12, but I think the first 10 years is just, they're kids, you know? They're bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. The world is a wondrous place to them. You know, they still don't understand a lot of things.
I think a little different. I think it goes a little sooner. Only because I had time, obviously since I got the topic, I had a little time to think about it and sit on it. I just, I think major, big things, yeah, because change, anybody can change, yeah. But I think that they gain little small traits at 6 and 7. Around then. Really when they could start kind of having communications skills, little things. little just traits. And that's what I'm saying. I don't think, like personality. Well, maybe. I don't know. I do think it's slowly like I gotta bring it back to me. Like I was trying to think like now for me like it's really random, but I always get stuck with like doing the same. Let's say like music, right? Like right now, I listen to probably two. It's just who I listen to two probably CDs, and it's just them. And then, eventually I'll change it, but it's like I forget about everything else. You know what I'm saying? Like you get used to that. But as a kid, it was like when I was at that age. At least like I'm going with CDs, still the same thing. Mm-hmm. Like I remember when I was first listening to music as a kid, at that age, I only had 2 CDs. At first, right? Like I remember because we were talking about music last night when I was with Anthony. You saw me, and I was like, "Yo, my first 2 was DMX and Ludacris." It was like those were my 2 things, and it was just those were my 2 first CDs. So I was bumping them all the time. So I heard other music, right? Obviously, people listen to Jay-Z, people were listening to M, people, but it was just like for me, those were my only 2 CDs at that time. So who else am I? And then back then, computers weren't really, you couldn't even download shit at that point yet.
Yeah.
At that, like I'm talking 98. We didn't even really have, so you kind of got used to that. And even now, like I look back, I'm like, wait a minute, I have all this shit on my phone, but why is my brain, it's like, you still, you get kind of caught up in that same thing, or like,
I think that's more just being a creature of habit rather than, because that would be a pretty specific.
Well, I have
trait,
other little things like stuff like that. Like at least for me, I try to think about it, because when she asked this, I was like, okay, well, let me try to think about myself. Like what if that maybe I do now that could have steered from when I was really young. Like,
I mean, I think when you're young, I think obviously all along the way, little shit sticks with you.
Is that, yeah.
And it molds you into the
person you are.
It molds you into the teenager that you become. And you take pieces of your teenage years and that molds you into the adult you become. And then you grow as an adult. I think stuff like that is just being like a creature of habit, like I said. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, you know what? I like what I like. This is it. Leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah.
Whereas with major stuff, then yeah, I would think maybe 6, 7, 8 years old, something will hit. And it'll stick with him forever. But if we're talking like just character traits.
Yeah, like I'm thinking character traits, like who you eventually are. Not like personality, just like every like the way your mind works, the way like all that shit. Because your brain, how I was thinking about it is that your brain develops. Your brain doesn't wait to develop at 12 or 13. Your brain is developing. Like you got to think like. I think even at 12 and 13, your brain is already so far developed. Like I feel like that from when you're born to like 13, your brain is kind of like in like extra fast, quick. Because, like, okay, right now I'm 27. So from when I was 17 to 27, I don't think that it did as much work and growing, and you know what I'm saying, like,
well, because you weren't as impressionable. Because by the time, like I said, in your teenage years, by the time you hit 17, your mind knew much more. You developed much more in terms of knowledge and overall, just common sense. Whereas from 17 to 27. Your mind wasn't as wandering. It wasn't as impressionable because you already had that knowledge. You know what I mean? Then it just becomes refining that knowledge and fine-tuning it. And like I said, growing as an adult. Whereas when you're a kid, a lot of the stuff that your mind is taking in is fresh.
Yeah.
You're a very impressionable you have a very impressionable mind. So everything you're taking in is fresh. And then you're moving on. And then eventually when some of it starts to become recycled, then you start to refine it. And that's how you grow.
Yeah, and you make it better and you work on it. But those small habits, like even another thing just now, as you were saying, I was thinking like stupid shit. Like I do another, like sometimes for like food, right? I get caught up. Sometimes I eat the same shit. Like I'll go to a restaurant and they'll be like, they already know what I want. But little things like that, I think it's because when I was younger, at least in my home, we kind of had the same, like we would just eat the same thing. So it was like, I was used to it. And also, money was never that great. So we were never like, it wasn't like crazy experimental dinners, all different type of stuff. It was like kind of the same shit. And also like, depending on your family or your household, sometimes like your parents just cook the way they cook. And my mom just cooked sometimes it was like pasta. My grandma was bringing pasta, spaghetti, shit like that. Sometimes it was the same thing. It was like a routine. So then I guess as you get older, you think of it. And even now, maybe that's why like I'm used to that. It was a habit, it was like one of those things like.
But is are you putting that as a character trait, or are you just chalking it up to you like what you like? You know what I mean? Like. But
do you, or is it just something that.
Like something subconsciously that maybe you're just like, man, just get the same thing?
That's what I don't know. I mean, does it. Because when you try to think of things, like even, you try to think of something maybe that you do now. And you're like, wait a minute. Is there a way that it steered to something back like that back then? Like,
I don't know.
It's a lot of like analyzation. It's not something you're going to like think about.
You got to get specific though. I don't know what we're talking here. I don't know if we're talking something major, if we're talking something minor, or if there's a worry about what the child's going to become, or...
No, there wasn't no worry. She was like just watching. She was watching TV. And then she hit me with the question. She was like, she was just thinking, like, it was crazy that her child is going to be 30 one day. Like that was the point, like that it was going to be. So it's like, what that kind of makes you who you are, like little stuff that you do. Like... I think when you're raising a child during those age, it is crucial because I do kind of believe that's little things are gonna, like character traits, are going to make them who they are.
Oh, absolutely, but that comes down to parenting.
Exactly,
if you're showing them, if your character traits are A1, they're gonna pick that up and they're gonna be like, you know what, this is how I should act. This is how I should be. This is how mommy acts. This is how daddy acts. This is the person that I should be. I should act like that because they're acting like that. Or if your character is shit, they're going to look and they're going to think, oh, you know what? Well, that's okay because mommy and daddy act like that. So I could act like that. I could do that. I could say that. So in the end, it comes down to parenting. It comes down to being that impression that gets ingrained into your child's mind. Because they pick up a lot of stuff. Yeah,
and like I said, that time is crucial.
Yeah. But a lot of the stuff that they pick up just gets discarded. Some stuff sticks with them. A lot of it just goes out the back end.
Yeah. But there are things that will stick, so that's why it's
absolutely.
It's like it is a full-time job. So things you can't kind of just like I don't think people could use that excuse like, oh, it's just a kid, it should be okay, whatever. Nah, like all that stuff is making, like I said, there's so much growth.
Yeah, but if we're talking
little stuff, yeah, I mean,
yeah, like major stuff, all right, but you're talking like little shit. They're kids, man.
Well, not kids. Little. Like I'm saying, you just have to be careful what.
Yeah.
You just have to always pay attention. Obviously, the stupid shit is like, no, they're 7. Like, you just have to kind of be paying attention to certain things. And you have to remember that certain things that goes on in your everyday life, certain things will maybe make who they are. because there's a lot of growth.
Yeah.
I don't know. Stuff like that, you don't really think about every day. You know?
I live with a 7-year-old, so...
Yeah, and I know. But it's like... You don't think like, oh, wait a minute. Like, that they're... You don't think like how much mentally they're growing. You know, you just, okay, well, yeah, they're getting bigger. You know, that's what just the general public think. Oh, they're just getting bigger. Whatever, they're getting...
You have to understand that they're very impressionable young minds. And they take a lot of stuff in.
Yeah. Shit all adds up.
Yeah. But kids are resilient, too. They bounce back from a lot of stuff. They're very resilient in a way that a lot of adults aren't.
You're right. Because they're grown, they could just be like, okay, well, they could just bounce off of it and just go on to something else.
Because there's a lot of stuff that they don't fully understand. Like, they don't fully understand, like, the full spectrum of emotions and stuff like that. So, a lot of things they can just take, whereas it would break an adult up, you know? Or it would really unsettle an adult. For a kid, it's like, maybe they don't understand that particular emotion. So, it's just like...
Bounces, yeah. Interesting. And if you have any more questions regarding... Because it's a little... It was a little bit broad, but you know, if there's something deeper, certain thing that they're doing, whatever, like Walt was saying, just let us know. Hopefully, we answered your question with that, or at least gave you a little bit better insight on that. And anyone listening, hit us up in the comments. I want to know what people think about that.
Yeah,
because it's child development, like that's crazy. And I know they have courses on this shit. In college, like I'm pretty sure Hitomi took a course on this.
Yeah.
So like when you do psychology and you do all that. So I would really love to know if there's any psychology majors listening to this too. I want to know what you learned in school, like what a little bit more in depth. We could always run this back and do a part 2, yo. So just let me know.
Always.
Actually, speaking of that, we might soon coming up have a part 2 to chapter 11 about the polygamy. I got bitches. Oh, sorry. I'm not editing that out. I mean, I don't mean bitches in a bad way. You know what I mean. I'm sorry. I apologize. You're not bitches. But anyway, got these bitches saying a bunch of shit. Some are down with me, so I'm like, yo, you gotta come on. So we might have to be doing a part 2 soon to that.
Hey.
Alright, because I got a lot of... Still getting heat from that shit.
Yeah, I figured
you
would.
Like weeks later.
I figured you would.
Well, actually, no. You know what came up? Because we weren't even talking about it. I was sitting down with a couple of people, and they were just... And then one girl just started bringing it up. And I was like, yo, I just made a podcast talking about that shit. I was like, you real? And then it just got heavy from there.
Yeah.
And then the other topic that we have to cover today is kind of they wanted advice and maybe questions that were like on starting your own business. How or should you, like, they kind of just, it was like same thing, they kind of just threw the topic at me. So I don't know if they're curious about starting their own business or whatever. I mean, from this person, I've never got any, I've never really heard that they wanted to start one, so I don't know if it's just stuff that they're thinking in the back of their mind or what.
I mean, if your main goal is to own your own business, then absolutely go for it, but be smart about it, Don't go full nosedive in, not fully understanding all the parameters and not fully understanding everything that goes into it. Running your own business it's a tough task, man. So you gotta get all your ducks in a row. Talk to the necessary people, talk to an accountant, talk to a lawyer, talk to Everybody and anybody. Talk to a small business owner. Whatever you need to do to get it going. Rule number 1, find yourself clientele before you even think about opening your own business. Because if you're going in dry and just hoping that they're going to find you, you're just setting yourself up for a failure as it is. Even if it's 5-10 people, because then that spreads word of mouth. Those 10 people, they tell 2 people each. You know? Then that's an additional 20 people.
But you don't think with social media it's a little bit easier now?
With social media, yeah, but even so, not everybody's on social media. And depending on what you're...
Depending on what the business is, yeah.
Yeah, depending on what demographic you're looking to aim for, you know? A lot of people aren't cruising...
Yeah, through Facebook or shit.
Or through Instagram or shit like that. You know? I mean, obviously, use the internet as a tool. The internet's a big tool. You got Craigslist, you know, you got Angie's List. You got a lot of stuff you can do to promote a business on the internet. But you'd be smart about it.
Yeah, I think definitely now is the time to do it. And if you're thinking about it, I say go for it. But yeah, like you said, never, you know, you still got to be making your own money first. You don't want to just drop everything.
Yeah.
You know, definitely have like a nice, you know, little side hustle still on the side. Something where you know you're guaranteed still to make money. You know, like, for example, right now, I do Uber is my full-time job. However, the way it is with Uber is so dope. It's like a part-time still because I could do it whenever I want. So I could do this podcast whenever the fuck I want. I don't have to really... You know, if I want to promo this podcast right now in New York City, guess what? I could get up and go to New York City and do it. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, Uber is always, that's my money. You know, so you still always got to have that paycheck coming in.
Absolutely.
But definitely do the business. Like, write it out, you know. You got to, you know, writing stuff out and mapping shit out is always the best.
Always have a plan, man.
Yeah.
Always. Never go into something without a plan. And even if that means picking up a second job, you know, doing something to keep the money flowing in while you're trying to get your business off the ground. You know what I mean? Just talk to the right people. Make sure you got all your ducks in a row. And get that bad boy rolling. You know?
Yeah.
Use the internet as your tool. Use your friends. Use your family. You know, word of mouth.
Yeah, advertise it. Use everything. Definitely the internet is a key because the internet right now is huge.
Yeah.
And I also think just for even the motivational, I think now is just the time to do it because, I mean, yo, technology's taking over a lot of shit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah, you know, a lot of jobs are safe, but I mean, yo, like, they're taking out all the toll booths in New York City, like, real soon. You know what I'm saying? Like, because they're going to put, like, you have to think, there is so many jobs. Like, I guarantee there are going to be servers no more in a couple of years. There's going to be a busboy.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the things that, like, Applebee's a little thing,
Yep.
they getting ready for that.
There's just going to be food runners. That's it.
Exactly. Like,
Yep.
that's going to happen. You can't tell me it's not going to happen. There's nobody that could argue me with that. There's going to be a busser, okay? That's going to be a food runner and a busser. That's it.
That's it.
There's going to be the kiosk.
But then again, if you really think about it, I had this conversation with a few people at work too. They don't pay us.
They don't, but that's when for a huge company like that,
it's not real. But even they're not doing themselves any favors by removing human interaction because they're not gaining any money by letting go of people that they don't pay.
No, you're right. Yeah, because they only pay $2.13 an hour. But
our taxes from our tips come out of our hourly wage, so we never see a paycheck.
Yeah.
So
does the company still have to, like, because I don't know how that works. I'm not that great at math and all that shit. I mean, but I don't want to go dig deep. But at the end of the day, technology's taking over some shit.
Yeah, man.
Like, if you just think about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just to show you, like, okay, yeah, they might not take your servers out altogether. But I'll tell you one thing. It's getting somewhere with certain shit. There's going to be jobs, like, you go into the fucking airport. You know what I'm saying? There's a kiosk right there for all your tickets, all that. Like, you don't think that over time...
Self-checkout at supermarkets, Walmart.
Yeah, there's not as many cashiers. Like,
a lot of warehouses have gone to automated shit.
Yeah, so... Because also... All right, we were in 2017, right? Look at where we were in 2007.
Mm-hmm.
Only 10 years ago.
Yeah.
The iPhone wasn't even out yet.
Actually, it had just come out.
Right, in like 08 or some shit? Or
I think it came out in 07. I think this is this
the
year.
10 year?
I think this is the 10-year anniversary.
But that's my point. Do you know what we could do now with
how
iPhones?
far we've come in 10 years.
In 10 years.
Yeah. So imagine what another 10 years is going to do.
Yes.
I know. I hear you.
Like, flip phones were like... still on in 10 years ago. And 10 years is not a long time. That's why, like, people like my dad, his age, he's in his late 50s. So for him, it's kind of like a shock. Mm-hmm. If you kind of think about it. Because really, for someone that's, let's just say, 60, it's only been 10 that that technology kind of blew really quick. Yeah. Like, yeah, it was a progression. Like TVs and then extra. But now it's like, yo, I can fucking press a button and tell you what song is playing in the fucking club. Yeah. Like, things are a little out of hand. Not out of hand now. They're good. I like it. I like technology.
It's a little too much, though. It's a little too much.
Yeah.
And when it's now become where technology has overtaken human interaction. And
oh, yeah, huge.
And that's become a big problem. Because
exactly.
Now that's where you have the issues that we have today in this country with people who are out protesting and rioting and all this because they don't want to do shit because they have no idea how to have a conversation with somebody because everything they've ever done in their whole life was on the internet or on their phone or on a tablet or on a video game.
Yeah, it's taking over, and it's just these last 10 years have been a huge growth. So just imagine, what I'm getting at is, just imagine where we are going to be another 10 years from now. So let's just say I'm 27. When I'm 37 years old, there are many jobs that maybe technology is going to take over. So I feel like now is the time.
Well, let's hope not. Let's see. What it all comes down to is the people, in my opinion. It's a matter of greed. And when is enough? There's this, a CEO who's making $120 million a year. You really need to make that extra $10 million?
It's going to happen. It's not
to fire 3,000 people, you really need to make that extra $10 million?
It's going to be to the point, probably in maybe 15, 20 years, where people are starting to notice their loss and shit, that there's going to be riots because of that. I mean, it's just my guess. But basically, now is the time that I think everybody needs to look at themselves. People that are our age. People that are 27, in their 20s, just kind of getting their career started. Just got to kind of like, okay, you don't want to be 60 years old and broke. You want to be able to support your family. You want your home. So whatever job you do now, however you're making your money now, you have to make sure that you are still going to be able to do that. Not able to do it. That it's going to be it's going to be acceptable. It's going to be out. It's going to be, like painters. Painters are always going to have a job. Your job, building, construction, like barbers, like, but then, even jobs maybe that make...
you think about it, will they though? In 10 years, you don't think that they're going to be able to create a robot that can build a house?
I mean... That's what I'm saying. Like, you have to... So, I think now, with back to the business, you need to kind of make your money now. Not like think, okay, I'm going to have a... you have to worry about, I think, your retirement a lot faster than you did back then because your job might not be around.
But there has to be a plateau somewhere. There has to be a plateau in technology somewhere where where there's just we can't go any further. You know?
Yeah, but
because we lack, whether it be the material or whether it be the knowledge, or we'll never be able to go further than the human brain. Period. Everything has to be thought up by somebody. It has to be created by somebody. I have, although it's very faint, I still have small hope and faith in humanity that we will not let ourselves crumble and fold.
And get to that point, yeah.
But then you turn on the fucking TV and it's going on, and it's mind blowing.
You never.
And it's because we have a whole generation of 2 generations now, basically, of kids and teenagers and now adults who don't know how to have a conversation, who have no idea what human interaction is. And instead of learning about it, we're going out there and being proactive, they just decide to say, you know what? Why not just make the government give me everything?
Yeah.
I don't want to pay for school. I don't want to go get a job. You know, because there's no human interaction.
Exactly.
No.
And, back from technology. So, go do the business. Everybody, my statement to end that is just think about your money now. Think about your future money now. Because you never know. You could have faith. I could have faith. However, you still have to be ready. You could have all the faith in the world. However, you still have to have a plan. You have to be ready. So if something does happen, you don't say shit.
I think even at that point, I know it. It's a worst case scenario, and it sounds like a end of days type of thing, but it would eventually get to the point where we would wind up in some type of conflict, some type of war, some type of civil war, or whatever, and we somehow start not fresh, but start a little fresher than to the point of where we got, and maybe get back on the right track.
Maybe. I mean, we don't know. We can't. We gotta hope. We have to have faith, but we can't predict the future. But we could definitely hope.
Technology has been great. It has been fantastic. But I also think it has ruined us. Yeah. Because it was too much, too soon.
Well, like I said, because it was like...
And we kept wanting more. And
they can do it. And that's what I'm saying. We're not even near, like, all right, so I used to work at Sprint. Yo, the lady said to me, she was like, because I was asking about, they weren't going to make the Note 7. The one that, like, blows up and shit. They weren't going to make it. They were going to cut it off because I have the Note 5. And then they skipped the 6. They were going to not even make it. And the Samsung lady was, like, trying to, like, she was like, don't really, say anything. Well, sorry, lady. I don't work at Sprint no more, so I don't give a shit. She was like, well, they don't really know what they don't even think they could do a Note 7 or a Note 8. They don't know, because it's like one of the top Samsung phones.
Yeah.
They were like that. They know what they could do, but just people won't afford it.
Yeah.
She said that's the problem. She was like what they could do to these phones is mind blowing. She said that they haven't even done yet.
Yeah.
However, for them to do that, no one would buy the phones. Because right now, phones are $1,000, but since they did the monthly shit, now nobody, it's a little, as a salesperson, I've done sales. I can convince you $1,000, I don't even make you realize $1,000 is a lot. Because I'm saying 20 a month or whatever.
Yeah.
So, even monthly, you can't, if phones are $1,000 now, what she basically said is what they could do to these phones will probably be going for $2,000 for what they really could do to the phones. But they can't, because it's getting to that point where it's expensive to make more, because obviously they have to put more into it.
So
What's up?
It's not that expensive.
Oh, yeah, no, because they get shit for cheap as fuck.
And they're basically running sweatshops.
Yeah. But that might be a point to where maybe it will slow down soon. Because, like she said just people won't pay for it.
Yeah.
For a phone, like she said, I can make this phone do so much more. Like they said, the Note 7.
Look at some of the technology you have now. They have, like, these CEOs of these big tech companies. I was reading an article the other day, I forget which one it was. When he walks into a room in his house, everything changes to whatever mood he's in. The lighting, if he's got music on, the music.
Yeah.
The floor is heated and the temperature reacts to his body, and every room he walks in reacts to his body temperature, so he's always comfortable. And it's like, this is shit that it's just wavelengths. Like, it's just you put something like a Bluetooth on your ear and you can have everything react to your brain waves. And
yeah, it's nuts.
It's mind-blowing, bro. Right,
That's what I'm saying, and it's only been 10 years since the iPhone came out. Just imagine in 10 years what's going to happen.
I don't know, man.
So that's why I'm saying we got to think, bro. We got to... Every day now is crucial to how you're going to make your money. Everything, yo. Like,
but also you got to factor in that where are we going to be in 10 years, as a country or as a planet, who the fuck knows?
Yeah, you never know.
Nobody knows, and we could be on the brink of nuclear war, or our country could fall apart because we have 2 generations of people who are fucking momos.
Yeah, but that's all politics talk, and I don't want to get into
not even politics. You're talking everything. You have going to technology.
Yeah,
you got two generations of people that just are lost in the sauce. They don't know how to act.
Yeah, well, hopefully
everything they've ever done was internet, technology, Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah, so hopefully we can all get it together soon. So on that note, create your business, create multiple businesses. Because what if that one fails? Like, they say a millionaire has like 7 different sources of income.
At least.
All right. So because the typical thing as an American is you go to school, you go get your job. And then what if it fucks up? What if you have a heart attack? And you can't work no more. Or, what if something happens? Like, we have to kind of get ready. These are the times, like, I know my demographic for people that are listening. We're in our 20s and our early 30s or maybe even teens. This is that time where you have to remember you might have a family one day. And life happens, man. We can't control it.
Yeah.
You can't control what happens. And life is great, but life also can suck. Things could happen. So now is the time that we're creating families, we're having children, we're getting girlfriends, we're getting apartments. Make sure that you have multiple ways that you could dip your hand into. You know what I'm saying? Just because...
Always be willing to work hard.
Yeah.
And that's it. You'll never... you'll never be a failure if you're always willing to work hard. Because there's always going to be a job for somebody that's willing to work hard. And don't be too proud. Never be too proud. That's the biggest problem I had was at one point in time I became too proud. And I was out of work for like 8 months. Like 8 or 9 months. I had no job, no income, nothing. And I was too proud to just say, you know what, let me go get a job delivering pizzas. Or let me go get a job waiting tables. I was too proud because the job that I had left, I was making $17 an hour. So I'm not going to go down to making, as a server, I'm not going to make $2 an hour and depend on somebody's tips. And I'm not going to go deliver pizzas and make $4 an hour and depend on somebody's tips. You know? And then one day I woke up and I looked in the mirror and I said, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah, you gotta...
You gotta work. Just go work. And now I work 2 jobs.
Exactly. And you're doing good.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So you have to kind of just... Things will come into play. Like I've talked on chapter 3 with Crispy. Like I said, back, and he just, again, opened his own business, grinding. He's hustling. Like, you have to... If you don't know the steps will come. You just have to go after what you want to do. Make that plan. Write it all down. And then you slowly piece things together. You slowly put the dots. But you just have to do it. And then if you don't know how, guess what? You know, like, for this podcast, I don't fucking work in the radio industry. I could barely work a Mac. You know what I'm saying? Like, my Mac is probably going to... Look, I got advanced Mac cleaner coming up on my screen. Like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here. But guess what? You got to throw yourself in the water sometimes.
Learn, man.
All right? And just, the steps will come as you do them. And guess what? If one of those steps on the way fuck up, guess what? Keep going. Keep getting up.
Trial by fire.
Exactly. It ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. That's what business is. That's what it's life. That's what everything is.
Everything.
Hey, Mr. Walter Bauer, anything you want to shout out? Anything you want to promo? Whatever.
I'm good. Just big shout out to our new listeners, man. If you guys are listening, we do appreciate it. Like I said, all my fellow peeps from Applebee's, much love, much appreciation. They saw the hoodie and they were all very interested. Showed a lot of love.
Word, yo, that shit is highly appreciated, man. When people share the post and shit, because like I said, this is my business. Mm-hmm. So this is something you're doing. You're putting your effort into it. Yeah. So when people share this, it feels good, right? Like,
it feels good.
So it's like, and that shit's amazing. So anyone whoever retweets it, posts it, puts the picture up, says a shout out, whatever, man. Like, it's all love from me, you know. Yeah. Shout out to Julie, yo. Julie always, she's been real. Yeah, sharing man. All the posts.
Always, bro.
She's real, yo. So shout out to Julie, Dana's mom. She's real. Shout out to Mikey. Mikey shared some stuff. That stuff is highly, really appreciated.
It's very appreciated. It's very appreciated. It was really neat when I walked in, and not only just because the appreciation level not just because of the love that they're having for like the podcast, but it shows you that like the love and the respect they have for you as a person.
It's genuine.
You know what I mean? Like when I walked into work one day and I had this on, and there was like 4 people standing there, and they all looked at me and they were just like, "How come I didn't know you had a podcast? Why didn't you tell me you had a podcast?" You know, and like that level of interest, it makes you feel good. It makes you feel like, you know what? These people got a lot of love for me, and it's much appreciated.
And you value them, man.
And I want it to be known that the love it's a mutual love, back to back. But I greatly appreciate the listens, and I hope that one day we can take this motherfucker and put it up on a national scale, and make big things happen for people.
Exactly, because the goal is to help people. Like, that's why a lot of times I share and I ask people, okay, if I ask you maybe to share it or I appreciate it so much because I don't make $1 off this thing, and I don't see money coming really soon, and maybe one day. But the goal for this too is to help people, because maybe what we were talking today, there could be 1 million people in this world right now who maybe don't know how to open a business or thinking about opening a business, but never let it out their fucking mouth because they're nervous or whatever. So guess what? If you just listen to this and that was you, thank you. Basically, you know what I'm saying? Because now we maybe helped you out a little bit. We gave you a little bit of insight to it. The child development. I mean, shit. That right there, that helped out the person that asked me the question, but it also helped out people that are listening. Because what if you have kids? What if, you know what I'm saying? So the goal is really just to help people.
That's it.
So if everyone shares and everyone does keep doing that, like, I appreciate that so much, because guess what? Now I can maybe help more people. If I have more listeners, I'm like, shit, I helped maybe this amount of people, this many people I could have possibly reached, You know, like just from what we said, because you never know. Well, we could be totally wrong. I'm not saying that everything I'm doing is helping. Everything we're saying is help. But you know what? If it did, to me, that matters a shitload.
Yeah, man.
You know, so that's why I do want it to get bigger. I want people to tell other people. I want, if someone has an addiction problem, I don't want them dying. I want them maybe to be able to come on and talk to me about it before they could fucking end up overdosing and dying.
Yeah.
You know, but the only way...
If you help one person, it's...
Exactly.
It's a success.
Exactly. And that's the thing. I want to help I want to be able to help everybody. I want to be able to talk to people all the time about their issues. So shit doesn't happen because we are fucked up. A lot of us are just through some shit. So, you know what? I want us not to be. I want us to get out of whatever stress we all have.
But we want to do it in an entertaining way.
Exactly.
We want to have fun with it.
So, the only way that's going to happen is people telling other people about it. And people sharing it. So, everyone who has, again, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And if you haven't, it's all good. You know? Some people are afraid to, like... I notice they'll like share like one of their friends' stuff or whatever because they think, oh, it's just like a little thing they're doing, a little venture, a little thing, whatever.
Yeah.
But guess what? I'm not going nowhere.
No,
so.
We ain't going nowhere. We're here. We're here to stay.
Exactly. So that was Walter Bauer. Shout out. My shout out again. The CP group. Go check it out. It's fucking awesome. Advertising, marketing. Also, I want to give a shout out to Felony Fame. Check out his video. Yeah, Love or Sympathy. All right. It's from the Everything Starts From Now album. All right. So he put out the video. It was a couple days ago. It was a pretty dope video. He shot it over here. It looks like in the Garden State Plaza. That video was real too, man. Like,
yeah, it's dope.
That shit was hard. Like that, I felt it. When I watched it. And to me, that's what really gets me is when I watch something. I'm not into the whole rappers throwing around money, all this bullshit. Like,
yeah.
To me, you actually put thought in that video.
Put your heart and mind into it, man.
You did.
That's when it becomes art.
Exactly. That's like when I watched it, I saw that you had an idea and you went for it and you were really determined and you were motivated and like I said, I felt it. And when I could hear a song or I could just watch a video, even if let's say I didn't even fucking like the song, which I like the song, but even if I didn't, I felt it, and that's to me what matters. So. Cliff, great fucking job with that video. Anybody who doesn't ever heard of this dude, his name is Felony Fame. Fucking fire. Like I said, he has the album called Everything Starts From Now. Go check out the video. And that's that. Therapy without a degree.
And also, big motherfucking shout out to Remy Ma for eating Nicki Minaj.
Word.
I'm out.
Hey. All right, yo. Therapy without a degree, chapter 14.